presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, coming to you from one of the most famous golf courses in the world, the Stadium Course at TPC Sawgrass. And Frank, not only does this belong to the best players in the world, but really to any player who wants to tee it up.
That's exactly right, Rich. It's open to the public, but that was also one of the directives when they first built this golf course. First of all, to host a championship, but then allow the fans of the game, people out there watching right now, to be able to go and play that very golf course. And they've succeeded.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Headed for the bunker? Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. And getting ready for the putt. +1 in the early going. How about this second, a par 5?
Well, if you're brave, you try and flash it down that tree line down the left, but there's a couple of limbs that poke out. Every now and again, they catch an errant tee shot.
Frank, that was a good drive. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot.
This is not heading in the right direction.
Looks like it's going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
One over for the day. Frank, a nice mix of holes to start. So here we go with a par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too. You don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left,
appears to be tracking well. Just a pure strike and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now.
second shot.
Back to par for the round. Frank, the bunker on the right, I wouldn't call that a pot bunker. That is some kind of a hazard, isn't it?
Yeah, meanders all the way down the right side, but really it's the lesser of two evils. I'd rather be in that bunker on the right than the hill on the left.
Frank, the second here at the fourth is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Getting set now over the putt. Still playing even for the day after the par. Fifth hole, good par 4, isn't it, Frank?
If ever a hole was built for Lee Trevino, who used to love to cut it, this would be the hole. It just looks and screams for a shot that's hit left to right. And that's the only way really to avoid bunkers left and long, and that one that's all the way down the right side. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That one is just a little offline, and that will not end up in the fairway. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, this one is veering far to the left. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one no easier than the one he's just hit.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Shouldn't be a problem here. He'll take par and move on. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the sixth.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up, so this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
Frank, for players looking to improve their putting, what are some of the training methods they can use?
I think speed is always is a good one when you get on the putting green and you just practice trying to putt inside that 3-foot circle, because in the end all sports are the same. You're trying to focus in on the destination where that ball has to be delivered, whether it's tennis inside the court or basketball inside the rim. Putting's no different. As you get further and further away from the hole, then you just make an acceptable size circle that you're trying to putt within. So pace, very important.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Still even par for the day. Frank's seventh hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there, and of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's the canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention.
Strategically, Frank, how do you like to play this hole?
You've got to be aware of where you don't want to go. That front right bunker is probably the easiest bunker shot on this hole, but there's a little pot bunker on the left. That one there, always difficult to get it up and down. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Now his third, staring right at the green. Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So just a formality here. Just a shade over par, +1. TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is sort of an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or 2. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Has it, and that is birdie number 2 for the round. Frank getting set now for one of the more exciting back nines in all of golf right here at TPC Sawgrass.
And it starts at 10. It looks like a dogleg to the left, really, but you've got to play it as a straightaway tee shot. The run out just over 310 yards.
Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot, and now we'll have this for birdie. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Stacking birdies, that's how you put a score on the board. So 2 straight and headed in the right direction. Now the time to be aggressive. Par 5, 558-yard, 11th hole, Frank. What's the key here?
Tee it high and let it fly. This is the big chance here. This is one of the widest fairways on the golf course. This is where you chance it all.
Good contact, good result. Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Keeps the momentum going. 2 under now. Now to the par 4 12th, and it's a pretty short hole, Frank.
Yeah, Pete Dye often doesn't get enough credit for his short par 4s. This is a great example where one of the features of it is the blind second shot, just to give you a little bit of doubt on judging the distance.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie.
Starting to get a little bit of a roll and looking at another one.
Really playing well. Let's see if he can add another birdie. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds. You can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with a bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Never a pleasant moment, the drop after you've gone into the water, but here we are. Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. Not going so well for him. He has this for bogey. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Now one of the most demanding holes on this golf course, the 14th, 481-yard par 4.
If you ever want a litmus test at TPC Sawgrass on who's playing well, check the tee shots on 14. If you stripe it down here, you know you're driving the ball well. Too often we see people messing with the mounds on the right.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
In the beginning, Pete Dye, Dean Beeman, they were fending off rattlesnakes with a machete. It was pure swampland, and they moved heaven and earth to create this golfing stadium.
It was an amazing investment. They bought the land for just $1. But what it's turned into now, the Players' Championship at the Players' Club, it really stands for a lot in our sport. This is really the home of professional golf in the United States. And the players know it, so each time the Players' Championship comes around and they put their names on that registration sheet, they hope that their name goes on the trophy.
Makes the putt and moving in the right direction. 2 under par. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right. And really 2 good shots and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly. And 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. This looks like it's going to find the target.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Just a couple of feet.
2 under on the day.
Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold-your-breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is too close. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Continuing his fine play, another beautiful approach shot. Not a gimme, but well within his range. There's a birdie to get to 3 under. Frank, how early in the round are you thinking about the shot at 17?
Well, when you're playing well, you're pushing it ahead. Maybe you don't think about it till 14 or 15. If you're struggling, you might be thinking it early as the 5th or the 6th hole. But put it this way, when you make the walk from 16 to 17, you are thinking of it every inch of the way.
Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
Frank, it's all about focus and positive imagery, isn't it, here on this approach shot at the 18th?
You have to be precise with your target here. You can't be looking left at the water or mounds on the right. Plus, there's all the mounding on the screen. So, in the end, look at the flag, aim at the flag, go there.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
It's at sneaky distance. That was just begging there for a good putt.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Finished with a final score of 69. Frank, that was an impressive round out there today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. We've seen some great shots out there, and I'm excited to see how the rest of this tournament plays out.